So, if your business sends money internationally, you've definitely seen the transfer fees. But what if I told you the real cost is hidden? And I mean, like, it could be 100 times higher. Today, we're going to go find that hidden money. All right, let's dive right in. You're making a big international transfer. You see a small, manageable fee. Seems simple, right? But below the surface, the actual cost can be, well, 100 times that. So the real question is, how are banks hiding such a massive charge? Okay, so the whole problem really starts with what we can call the transfer myth. Most of us see that small fee they advertise and just figure, hey, that's the whole cost of the transaction. But that little fee, it's just the tip of a very, very big iceberg. To really wrap our heads around this, let's walk through a super common business scenario. Just imagine you run a company in the UK and you've got an invoice to pay, a big one, 110,000 euros to a supplier over in Europe. This right here, this is exactly where those hidden costs start to creep in. So where is this enormous hidden cost actually coming from, right? Well, to find it, we've got to look past those flashy fees they advertise and really dig into the one number banks hope you won't pay much attention to, the exchange rate itself. Okay, first things first, you need to know about something called the interbank rate. Now you can think of this as the real wholesale price of a currency on any given day. It's the rate banks use when they're trading with each other, and it's the one you'll see if you Google it or catch the financial news. All right, now this is where it gets really interesting because this slide shows the difference in black and white. In our scenario, the real interbank rate is 1.10. Simple math, right? That means your £100,000 should get you exactly 110,000 euros. But, and this is the big but, your bank doesn't give you that rate. Nope, they offer you their own retail rate, something like 1.078. It looks close. I mean, it's just a couple decimal points, right? But it's not. And that tiny looking difference in the decimal places, it creates a massive gap. At the bank's rate, your £100,000 now only buys you 107,800 euros. That is a shortfall, a direct loss to your business of 2,200 euros, just gone. So that gap, it actually has a technical name. It's called the foreign exchange margin, or just FX margin for short. And this is basically the bank's profit. It's their payday, and it's built right into the exchange rate they decide to offer you. And here's the most important part, the real kicker. This is not a fee you are ever going to see listed on a statement. There's no line item that says FX margin. It's pure profit for the bank that's completely hidden, just bakes right into that worst rate they give you. And look at this. This chart just perfectly illustrates the scale of the problem. When you do the math and convert that lost 2,200 euros back into pounds, you've paid over £2,000 in total, and that visible £25 fee saw at the beginning. It's barely more than 1% of what you actually paid. The rest, the whole giant slice of the pie, is all that hidden margin. But wait, it doesn't always stop there. On top of that huge hidden margin, other little fees can get tacked on all along the way, making your final cost even higher. So you've got the FX margin, that's the big one. Then there's that visible transfer fee we talked about. But sometimes, other banks in the middle, they're often called correspondent banks. They can also take a little slice as the money moves through the global system. And that's not even getting into the indirect cost to your business, like, what if the payment is slow? You could have shipping delays, maybe even lose some trust with your supplier. It all adds up. Okay, so that's the problem. It's a big one. But the good news is, you really don't have to just sit there and take it. You don't have to be a victim of these hidden costs. Let's pivot and look at a much more transparent way to do things, and some pretty straightforward strategies you can use to take back control of your money. hubfx lays out 3 really smart strategies to fight back. First up, multi-currency accounts. These are great. They let you hold money in different currencies, so you can be patient and convert your funds only when the exchange rate is looking good for you. Number 2, demand a transparent spread. This just means you work with providers who agree on a fixed, totally visible margin right up front. That way there are absolutely no nasty surprises. And third, use something called a forward contract. This is a game changer. It lets you lock in an exchange rate today for a payment you know you have to make in the future. It totally protects your business from those crazy, unpredictable market swings. And it's really important to get this. We're not talking about some kind of exotic, high-risk trading you see on Wall Street. This is just basic, fundamental financial risk management. Honestly, any business that's moving serious money across borders really ought to know about this stuff. hubfx really nails it with this quote here. If you've never seen this kind of breakdown of all the costs, you're basically making huge financial decisions without seeing the whole picture. You're just flying blind, and that could literally be costing you tens of thousands of pounds every single year. So, this leaves us with one final, pretty crucial question for your business. That convenience, just clicking that simple send button in your online banking app, it feels so easy, it feels great. But you have to ask yourself, is that convenience really worth the thousands of pounds it might be quietly draining from your business?